Hey guys, I'm back with another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle, and today's opponent I am taking on Gage. Now this is someone from my Facebook, of course, since I don't just accept battle invites from my YouTube page, I also accept some from Facebook and Twitter. And this is a first indeed, because his team's actually pretty something. I really like it. He sends out Alakazam, and I'm thinking to myself, why the heck did I send out my Mienshao first? I thought to myself that his Alakazam was really that fast, but it turned out it wasn't, and I used U-turn, and it took it down in just one hit. And I literally was saying to myself, I freaked out, and I guess I wasn't that worried. Though the switch, I believe, is necessary, believe me. It was necessary. So I send in my Mawile, and he sends out his Magmortar, and I'm thinking, if he brings out Flamethrower, I am dead meat. So I need to make a switch, and fast. I don't even want to know. So I switched into my Ninetales, which was a pretty smart move. He went for the Fire Punch, and I get the Flash Fire, which boosts my Fire-type moves up. So I switch right back, thinking it's no longer a threat, though I thought to myself, he would just use another Flamethrower again, and then he sends out his Mienshao, and he goes for a Thunderbolt. And the Thunderbolt really did a lot of damage. It really did. So I went for the Stone Edge, thinking that I can take it down in one hit, and to my surprise, it didn't. And I was pretty surprised that it didn't take it down in one hit. He goes at it again for another Thunderbolt, and that did a lot more damage. So he makes a switch, and I thought, what else does he have in that team? And he sends out Rhyperior. And boy, it's huge. I went for the Drain Punch thinking on prediction he'll switch to something else, and yeah, it did. My guess it has Solid Rock because it must have weakened the super effective move, and it did help me a lot. Though my only problem is that it's not as fast. So I go for another Drain Punch since my Mienshao is faster, and I take it down with a 2-hit KO. It was a pretty good Pokemon, though I really wish it was a bit faster so that way I could find out what it has, but meh. I'm sorry, but he sends out Heracross, and that's when he brings in the Mega Evolution. Now, to be frank, I've seen a lot of different Mega Evolutions, but this one, wow, this one's just rather cool. It's very cool, and I go for the U-turn, and the U-turn didn't really do that much damage. It hurt, though, but not as effective. I make the switch because I need to make a move fast, which I do, of course. And I go for Ninetales, hoping that I can take it down with Flamethrower, and he uses an Aerial Ace, which I made a good prediction, though the damage I suffered wasn't enough. I go for a Will-O-Wisp, and that should at least cripple him, and now he suffers a burn. Though I wonder if the burns is enough, and he goes for a close combat. And despite the fact that he did, and the funny thing is, my Ninetales survived. I'm like, wow. I can't believe it withstood a close combat like that, despite the fact that they got a burn. So I decide to use a Flamethrower, and I take it down. And nothing against you, but I have to admit, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool that it was able to almost take it down. So next on his list, he sends out his Electivire, and it's pretty nice. And I go for the Energy Ball, hoping that I can deal out some damage to it. It did, and he finishes me off with a Brick Break. Ninetales, you did your job. You always do your job well. It's no wonder you're a Pokemon that I always like to rely on in every battle I have. I send out my Aegislash in defense mode, of course, but he makes a switch because he knows I'm going to go on the offensive, pretty much. And he brings in his Magmortar, and judging by how I'll attack right now, I don't know if attacking was a good idea because I go for the Shadow Sneak, which does take down his Magmortar. But then comes the bad news because he has Flame Body, and that cripples my Aegislash down. With my Aegislash crippled, I don't really know how I'm going to survive this. Especially since with being on a status infliction, I'm on the clock. And he sends out, oh dear God, no, it's a Garchomp. And he pulls out the Earthquake, which, quite frankly, takes it down. Wow. I didn't really see that coming. I thought I was going to stay and survive it, but I guess not. It didn't really matter, though. So I send in my Mawile next, and I activate the Intimidate, which lowered the attack speed by 1 level, and that's when I decided enough's enough. So it's time to Mega Evolve it into a Mega Mawile. Yeah, I'm still training new recruits, so that way I can hopefully make these battles a bit more entertaining. He goes for the Earthquake yet again, and despite suffering 1 less, the damage he suffered was, wow, rather impressive. I go for the Play Rough, which should take it down in 1 hit, which it does. Should have went for the Iron Head, but worst thing is that he activated Rough Skin, which is the hidden ability for Garchomp, which is actually pretty nice. Anyway, he sends out next his Electivire, and I can tell his Electivire is a tough foe. So he goes for the Brick yet again, and despite the fact that it would normally not hit, it didn't take down my Mawile, which is rather surprising. I go for the Iron Head, and it wasn't that effective, but it did a lot of damage. He goes at it again for one more, and that should take down my Mega Mawile. And he gets the crit, and I don't think it mattered, but hey, at least it's just as good for me. And I send out my Mienshao, and I just finish things up with a Fake Out. So, great battle, Gage. I really did enjoy it, and even though I got it in just in time, it was a lot of fun to do. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Gage, for taking part in this. And who knows if I'll ever do more battles again in the future, which I will, of course. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It does mean a lot to me, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace, guys.